Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. And in this video I'm going to be talking about the treasure spawn that just came back out. Nothing new with this one, they're just bringing back old gear. Okay, so with this one, it's going to be 50 gems for the first time half off. After the first time half off, it is legitimately going to be 100 gems. So each time you're going to be spawning, it's legitimately going to be 100 gems. And they're going to have 3 chests, no double chances, and you can only spawn it 6 times. It says it right there, 6 times only. So no double chances, you can only spawn it 6 times, and that's pretty much how that's going to work out. No, like after you get the jackpot right, you're not getting 2 chests, you're still getting 1. After first time half off, you're not getting 2 chests, you're still getting 1. No matter when you spawn, how you spawn, or whenever you spawn, unless you're modding the game, you will only get 2, you will not 2, but you only get 1 chest. So keep that in mind. No double chances whatsoever involved with this at all. Let's actually look at the rewards though to see if the spawn is any good. Okay, so first off, starting with the gear spawn, no rates on the monsters in the gear, so that lowers the value for the spawn, considering that it's kind of expensive to actually spawn. Each time you spawn, you're legitimately using 100 gems. If you are free to play, 100 gems is not something you could easily obtain, and if it's mediocre, if they offer mediocre stuff, this spawn is just not worth it. So let's actually look at what they have to offer. Okay, so with the featured monsters, they offer from 34 cost, as you can see right here, and they have a decent amount of 34 cost, all the way to 36 cost, all the way down here, 36 cost. All of these are summoning scrolls though, so that's the really bright part. You're not getting any feature gear. So on the bright side, you're getting monsters that will be guaranteed to be your stats. You're not like you have risk involved for sure getting the monster you want, but the stats you want, no risk whatsoever. You're guaranteed to get the stats you want of whatever monster you get. Okay, so when they have stuff that's random or with rates, and they offer lots of feature gear or just even multiple feature gears or multiple featured monsters, a rule that always almost applies in each and every spawn they've done, except for maybe a few, and most of those actually being bugged, is this: the lower the cost, the higher the rates. So you're actually very likely to get 34 costs. You are very likely to get 34 costs. If 35 costs was the minimum, I could say for sure this is a decent deal if you have gems to spend. And by gems, I at least mean 150, at least 150. If you don't have 150, this won't even be worth it. And if it's hard for you to get 150, please stay away from the spawn, because again, this is a alright deal, or it's kind of between alright and bad. But anyways, yeah, because like the spawns that I try to tell you to go for, like prompt you to go for and all that stuff, they're really good deals. This is not a really good deal. This isn't a complete ripoff, but this is not a really good deal either. I recommend you saving on spawns that feel like legitimate steals in the game, because you're getting the most out of those than you are spawns like these. These spawns do help, because this one's not all too bad, but still there are majority of better spawns. In fact, the step up is something I'd recommend. If you could do the full step up, it may not be of your stats, but you're guaranteed the monster at the very end, and the ability it has, if you manage to pop it off with like Michaela or something, it's otherworldly DPS. This is literally the Michaela for ability power, and I'm not kidding you when I say that. This is literally the Michaela for ability power. And with its early pots, it's actually as strong as an average 36 cost awakened. So if you were awakened 36 costs that are not archangels, they actually give off around the same pots. It will be a bit lower when 37s come out, but as for now, if you manage to get this monster will give off a crap ton of battle score if you can awaken her, because she's one of those few 37s that can be awakened. But anyways, moving on from there. So yeah, they got 34s to 36s, and the issue with 34s is 34s are going to be a bit outdated cost wise, so they won't give off as much stats for sure, and then they on top of it won't give off a lot of stats from awakening either. Okay, so right off the bat, pots that you would legitimately be losing compared to a 34 and 36, 37s are even worse stat wise, or when they come out with them they're even worse, but 34s to 36s would be around 3k pots. You're losing 3k pots, 3k gear score from pots, just like that. And on top of it, just stat wise, you would be losing a decent amount too. I'm not sure how the percentages work, but you're at least losing around 2k off of that. So that's a total of like actual like 5k gear score. And on top of it, when you're doing Unison battles, the higher the cost, the more they're going to give, the more battle score it's going to give. 34 costs are outdated battle score wise when it comes to Unison battles, so they're really behind. They're becoming more outdated. Regardless of that, even to this day, they still have good abilities. Actually, a decent amount of 34 costs are better ability-wise than most 36 costs. There are a few 36 costs out there that actually really, they're 36 cost name, but form like a decent, like I'd say about half of actually 36 costs. 34 costs actually have better abilities, ability-wise, than these 36 costs. But the issue with them is their cost. They're going to be outdated cost-wise. So I don't personally find it all too worth it. Thankfully, though, when it comes to this, it's not as bad. Oops, wrong spawn. Thankfully, it's not bad because you're getting a summoning scroll guaranteed, and it's 34 costs. They could have threw it at 33 costs, but that's my intake on this. Is personally, with drops of ether, you can do the special spawn. The special spawn is a better deal, and they do have recommended packs that are usually going to be better deals. For the most part, when it comes to offering ethers with its spawns, A-Team usually gives them the value of 30 gems. So considering that, if you manage to pop off 50 gems for ethers, it's definitely going to be worth it. If you manage to pop off 100 gems for 2 ethers, it's not going to be worth it. That's a ripoff, to be fairly honest. It's better though that they added an extra ether, because before they only had 1 ether, so that is better. It's still a ripoff though. It's still a ripoff. Awakening orbs, on the other hand, awakening orbs are going to be maybe 1.5 to 2 times harder to obtain than ethers are going to be. So I would say they're a ripoff, because with special spawn, they offer it for 15 first time half off, then 30 first time half off, and they have a recommended pack that you legitimately could get an ether for, not an ether, awakening orb for $10, and 100 gems is kind of expensive. It's way over $20. So I personally think that the awakening orbs are still a ripoff as well in here. And there's better options that you can actually obtain awakening orb, like 4 awakening orbs to get more awakening orbs, for sure. Better deals than they have been doing with these stupid 3 chest treasure spawns, but this is still a ripoff. I personally would stay away from this. It's because they still don't have a really good deal. You're guaranteed a ticket. If you spawn twice, you could definitely do the ticket spawn for this monster they have or whatever right here. And it's pretty much offering the same feature gear that you would get from here, except it's going to be random stats. And that's pretty much my intake on it. Is 34 costs are a bit outdated, and they do offer a better deal than they have been with this 3 chest treasure spawn, but it's still not worth the price it is for sure, especially if you're free to play. Definitely not worth the price it is. So yeah, that's that for this video. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and I hope this helped out. This is the AzureWrath, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.